in the early days, you're doing a lot of right things. A lot of people are sort of picking up what's going on, and at some point you enter into this partnership with real estate mogul Christian Ringnes. And I would be curious to know if you could sort of share a little bit about the backstory of how that came about and how this enabled FOMO to sort of reach new heights in later years after that.
It was actually a magazine in Oslo, a real estate magazine, and one of the journalists, she tipped Christian that there is this thing happening in Stavanger that you should check out. It's quite interesting. And the reason I think she said that was, of course, FOMO is a really colorful, creative space in terms of design and interior. But also, you have to remember that during this COVID area and the oil and gas crisis in 2014, the scarcity at a vacated amount of office space, so what do you say, in that region was almost 20%.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of space empty. And on a normal year, there would be 10,000 square meters of new contracts signed in this business area at FOS. And the first 3 years of FOMO, we signed 10,000 square meters in average per year. So we basically went from being a completely unknown player to basically having a market share of 100% in year one.
That's extraordinary.
And we did that 3 years in a row. That had never happened before. And I think that caught their attention and they wanted to have a presentation. So we flew up to Oslo and presented FOMO for them. And we were quite humble. Like, we think we've had a lot of wind blowing our direction. We felt like the people, I think things have gone our way. And we were like in that mindset.
Yeah.
And after the presentation, Christian, which is 70 now, he's been working with real estate for all his life. He said, I just need to correct you because you have not had any tailwind. You've basically had the worst timing ever. Like, there was almost 20% availability on office space in that region. You had no money when you started. You were not located in a central city area. And you had COVID on top of that. How could you say that you had tailwind? It's like crazy. I was like, yeah, well, maybe you do.
Maybe you
I
have
don't
a
know.
point. Yeah.
and he said, well, for us even being in this business for 35 years, we would not see even where to start, in a project like this. We would have no tools in our toolbox to be able to handle this kind of a project. This is just for us unimaginable that you have been able to pull this off.
Yeah.
And I think after that meeting, we sort of realized that, okay, we've actually done something here that is a bit different. But the reason why we didn't see it is that none of us have been in real estate. We've been doing a co-working, really small. We didn't know anything about the business. We were really naive in a way, because our goal was just to create a really nice space where people come and have all these great experiences, right? But most other companies, they would start out with we have this property. Can you make a business plan on how much to invest and how much rent you can get and what we can earn? That's your business plan.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about what does people working here feel. What experiences would people have when they entered this new building? None of this is in the business plan. No one's working on that. It's only numbers. And it's quite crazy. If you go to any other project or product, the feeling that people get when they unbox or when they touch it or when they use it, that's the main focus.
Yeah.
But in the real estate, it's not even on the top 10 list of things people are discussing.
Completely different mindset.
Yeah.
Completely different paradigm in
Yes.
a way. Yeah. It's a wonderful way to sort of turn things around and use something that's some of the best parts from another industry, from another way of thinking, and then applying it in a completely different area.
Yeah.
You've also done a few other things that at least I think are a little bit different. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, but you've broken FOMO into several sub-companies, as far as I can understand, that focuses on their own niche, but all of those contribute to the whole FOMO experience. And I would be curious to know sort of what was your rationale for this approach, and how do you feel that that ties into organizational development and scaling?
Focus is the key. And if you have too many businesses, like too many different business ideas running in the same company, it could be a problem because you tend to work on the things that give you the effect the fastest, and the more harder projects would maybe be put aside. So putting up the organization, we quickly understood that to be able to succeed in all these different areas, we would need to make smaller companies that focus on one-on-one things. So we have FOMO Works, which is focusing on co-working. That's what they do. They are the best in co-working and trying to make the fastest, best experience for the clients. And because of that, they've developed a software where they onboard new tenants really fast. It's really neat. Get the same because of that software that is automating the whole onboarding process. You get the same experience every time, the same experience for everyone, because everyone is the same importance. And Funky FOMO, which is the fun and amusement department, if you will, they had the responsibility for creating a kitchen, building the food court experience, renting out for all the external companies that want to come and experience FOMO just for a day or 2 days, having a conference or whatnot. So they are only working on customer experience in terms of food, beverage, and conference. And that's a completely different ball game because you are focusing on clients coming in, they're staying there for a short amount of time, maybe just 30 minutes, eating, getting that experience, and then leaving. In a co-working, you have to have the same experience on a daily basis for years and years. And that takes another type of planning. So the organizations are put together completely different, and you have a different mindset. And the real estate itself also needs some planning, but that's even more long-term. You need to have maintenance on your technical equipment. You need to sometimes fix the entrance, paint, all these practical stuff. And you need to have a focus on those as well. So you can put everything in the same box. That I think have been a success for us.
And did that evolve over time, or did you sort of see that was a good structure, like from day one or very early on?
We put that structure on from day one.
Yeah.
So now we have one holding company and 8 companies in the total business. And 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago, we started an interior design company, which is our newest startup within the company, within the group. And that happened because we were listening to the market, and one of our suppliers, they said to me once that the last 5 clients that I've had visiting, they challenged me on making their office into like we wanted like the FOMO feeling. Could you make like a FOMO style? They said. So 4 or 5 have asked me to do a FOMO style. They said, but we're only delivering like office furniture. We don't have like that kind of knowledge. And I told them that if you want to create a FOMO style, I don't think that's really easy. Like you could try, but you don't know if you will succeed. And we thought, okay, if 4 out of 5 are asking for this and there's no one supplying this to the market, this is probably an interesting startup. So we got Siri Österbø, which is, I've been a designer and running the design group at IKEA for 20 years. She had been there for 20 years. Really, really talented interior designer and leader, of course. We got her on board. We founded the company. And the first 9 months, she sold for 100,000 US. That was like the first year already. We could take out some money from that company, and now the next year she had 1.5 million US.
That's tremendous growth, yeah.
So yeah, things were going really fast, and we now she have like 35 projects. There are only 2 employees at the moment. Maybe need to hire some more people.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But the clients are really happy. We're delivering a great product to them. Not getting the same FOMO that we have, but they're getting the same ideas that how can we create an environment for the employees that create this tremendous like experience when you get into the office.
If you appreciated that, then click here for more content like this. Go on, click it. And don't forget to subscribe. Be well.